Hey everyone, and welcome back to my sister's TBR podcast. I'm Stacey.
And I'm Rebecca. We're thrilled to have you join us for our monthly wrap-up episode, one of our favorite times of the month.
Today we're going to review all the books that we read in May. Well, I guess May,
and April,
and March.
Yep.
But we do have some hidden gems, some page turners, some bestsellers, and we just couldn't put them down.
Instead of doing our regular deep dive into our featured read, we are going to be posting that in a few more days, just in a separate episode. So keep an eye out for that one.
So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive into all the bookish things.
Oh my god, I am all over the place right now. I literally thought this was the mid-month.
No, this is our wrap up. We just said that.
Yeah, also true.
But there's nothing stopping us from saying a little bit of bookish news that we come across that has to do with our featured read, which we aren't talking about this episode, but we can still say it.
True.
We did get our Golden Trio cast.
I didn't go in to look in to see what else they've acted in. Is this their first thing?
I haven't seen them in anything. It's HBO announced that the actors Dominic McLaughlin, Arabella Stanton, and Alistair Stout be Harry, Hermione, and Ron. There were more than 30,000 children. Wow.
That's impressive.
Auditioned for that. Yeah, that's incredible. So, did you finish any books in March and April?
Yeah, I didn't finish any in April.
You had a really busy...
Yeah, April didn't exist.
Yeah.
Didn't exist.
But yeah, for March, I ended up finishing 7 books, in March.
Okay.
2 of which were fan fictions that I don't have the names readily available, but they were Dramione. We'll just leave it at that.
Of course.
But I finished Onyx Storm in March, which was slow, but still, gut punch.
Worth it?
Yep. Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. Phenomenal book, 5 stars.
Oh.
The Only One Left by Riley Sager. That was a book club book. That one was great. 4 stars. And Beach Read by Emily Henry, because it is the only book by her that I haven't read up to her newest book. That was a 5-star read. Deadly, deadly book. And then there was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which we already know how I felt about that.
Duh. Yep.
Duh. Yeah. What did you read in March?
The Boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
The Boyfriend.
And it was only meh?
It was meh. I only gave it 3 stars. It was okay. It was okay. Didn't have a plot twist.
Oh.
I fully predicted it. Yeah. And it was it was a happily ever after.
Okay. That's bizarre.
Yeah. Very different. Yeah. That's literally all I have wrote here. And I don't fully even remember. Yeah. But the first thing I have there is meh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm done with Frida.
We will get into that in this episode.
Okay.
Yep.
For April, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 books in April as well.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So I listened to Love at First Sight by Cara Bastone. I listened to, I think, everything that she has on Audible now. And I stand by her being a really good author, but I only 3-starred this book because it just didn't really hit me the same as her other ones did. But
Mm-hmm.
that's all right. I read Wild Love by Elsie Silver. That was a 4-star. I am loving Elsie Silver. Loving her so
Is that
much.
the cowboy romance?
No, this one is um he's the world's hottest billionaire. Goes back to like small town. Either way, 4-starred. I loved it.
Okay.
And then I read Quicksilver by Callie Hart. That was a 5-star read. That was for the book club. Fantastic. Romantasy. Loved it.
Mm.
Then I read 1984 by George Orwell. I really went off the beaten path for that one. I remember reading it. I read it back in high school. I don't remember it hitting the same as it did now. It's very political. It's a sci-fi. It's like Big Brother. Yeah, there's like Big Brother is watching, thought police, Big Brother, Orwellian. These words have entered our vocabulary because of George Orwell's classic dystopian novel, 1984. The story of one man's nightmare odyssey as he pursues a forbidden love affair through a world ruled by warring states and a power structure that controls not only information, but also individual thought and memory. 1984 is a prophetic, haunting tale more relevant than ever before. 1984 exposes the worst crimes imaginable and destruction, blah, blah, blah. It's worth reading just for the fact of how you could see the world very easily turning into that.
Gotcha.
It was terrifying. Terrifying, but
okay, great.
yeah, 5-starred that. Phenomenal read. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think you would enjoy reading it. I think
Probably
you
not.
would. I think it would put you to sleep.
Probably.
But
if we're being honest here.
Yeah. But anyways, then I read or listened to Call Me Maybe by Cara Bastone. Again, 4 stars. That one was great. Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. 5-star, obviously.
Okay.
Seatmate by Cara Bastone. 4 stars. And then my last read of April was a huge fucking letdown. It was Leave Me Behind by K.M. Mornova. And I 2-starred that, and it was probably closer to a 1-star.
Good Lord. How come?
I was really enjoying it the whole way, like the first 3 quarters of it. I really enjoyed. And then it just really went off the rails for me. I did not like it. It's like special ops team, like super dark. They're like the worst of the worst. You don't get out of this special ops team. It's just death. Like that's basically what it is. And it's yeah. I don't know. I just made no sense to me. No sense. It was just terrible. I don't know. Yeah, like my review on Goodreads was literally had me hook, line, and sinker until 85%. What the fuck was that ending?
Oh, God, that's so bad.
Yeah, like I don't leave bad reviews unless I absolutely do not like it, you know?
Sometimes you just need to spread awareness. And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was my April.
Out with a bang.
May was better.
Okay, good. And how many did you read in May?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A little bit slower month.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, nothing wrong with that. I read 4.
Okay. The first one I have to talk about, I wasn't all that thrilled about. I don't know if you've seen it floating around on social media at all, but Fight by Sloane St. James. The cover alone was enough to really pull me in.
Okay.
Right?
We have a rugged man.
The chainsaw? Like, this is okay.
Tattoos?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, just something about, like, the art style of it. Just, it has that, like, antique. I don't know.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So where did it go wrong?
Okay. So it's a romance, which is fine. We love romance here. 379 pages. The description is Callahan. Fighting wildfires is the only thing I've ever wanted to do, and I'm damn good at it. Being the captain of an interagency hotshot crew of wildland firefighters is high risk, high reward. The risk blindsided me 5 years ago when I lost one of my crew and was changed forever. Now the only rewards I allow are to work harder, smarter, and enjoy easy, sexy nights with strangers. Until I meet Prescott Timmons. Her smart mouth and adventurous spirit have me forgetting all of my rules, until her past shows up and lies start to feel too familiar. I swear to never spare her a second glance, but when she finds herself in a life or death situation with Mother Nature, my instincts kick in and I take action. Stranded and sharing a bed again, we're forced to face the truth. Do we let this fire burn out or fight? Sounds fantastic.
That sounds one bed trope.
Yes.
Hello.
Forced proximity.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like enemies to lovers, kind of. They do have like chemistry right off the bat, but the miscommunication is it's going to be the death of me. Of course. Yeah. I rated it 3 stars, but it was more like 2.5 by the time I was finished the book. Which is sad because it does have like a lot of like 4 and 5 star reviews, but no, it just felt so toxic and not what I wanted. Like the miscommunication, like just fucking talk about it. There was a 2-star review here that just says the best thing about this was the cover, and that is exactly how I felt.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Well, you tried.
I'm not continuing on with that series.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
You really tried.
Yeah. So what was your first?
So, my first was Height by Sin Len Yu.
Oh, right.
Okay. I did give it a 3-star.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. Let me bring up the synopsis. 2 years after the Battle of Hogwarts, the Ministry of Magic invokes an old marriage act to improve relations between Muggleborns and purebloods. Honestly, I just struggle a lot with short books. With short stories.
Yeah.
It was too quick. It was not enough storyline. I pretty much only gave it a 3-star because it's a Dramione fanfic and it's Sin Len Yu.
Valid.
Yeah. It didn't grasp my attention at all. It was just kind of like, it was just too quick. It was too quick.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to stop reading short stories because
you do.
I'm not doing anyone any favors. Yeah.
Lesson learned.
But I struggle with that because I'm like, oh, I love the short stories because it gets my reading goal up and I get so much amazing serotonin from finishing a book finally. But then I finish a short story and I'm like, okay, did I just literally waste an hour?
Yeah. Sad.
It's just, it didn't give me, like when you finally finish the Dramione and it's like, this didn't give me anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you like short stories, I mean, I will recommend it, obviously, because it is short, super easy to read. It's Sin Len Yu, of course, and it's Dramione. Mm-hmm. But I just
not for you.
Wanted more. Yeah. And especially where, like, how it's a file on my Kindle, I can't see actually how many pages it is or how long the book is.
Location.
Yeah. So I went into this not realizing it was that short of a book.
Yeah.
So then it was over and I was like,
That's it.
The heck? Yeah.
Fair enough.
So anyway,
Yeah.
but that's how I started my month, which was like, it was okay.
Mhm.
Not complaining.
Mhm.
I think I needed a short story at that time. So,
That's
yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your next read?
Another book club book, and another Abby Jimenez book. Say You'll Remember Me.
Right.
So obviously it's a romance. 416 pages. There might be no such thing as a perfect guy, but Xavier Rush comes disastrously close. A gorgeous veterinarian giving Greek god vibes, all while cuddling a tiny kitten? Immediately, yes. That is until Xavier opens his mouth and proves that even sculpted gods can say the absolute wrong thing. Like, really wrong. Of course, there's nothing Samantha loves more than proving an asshole wrong. Unless, of course, he can admit he made a mistake. But after one incredible and seemingly endless date, possibly the best in living history, Samantha is forced to admit the truth that her family is in crisis and any kind of relationship would be impossible. Samantha begs Xavier to forget her, to remember their night together as a perfect moment, as crushing as that may be. Only no amount of distance or time is nearly enough to forget that something between them. And the only thing better than one single perfect memory is to make a life and even a love worth remembering.
I remember you talking about this when you started reading it.
Yeah. Um People love it. Like really love it. I think overall in the book club it was well received. I think I was one of the few that did not really like it. Again, this was one that like started strong. Like I couldn't put it down. It was a great read. But I don't like Samantha. I feel like I feel like Abby just doesn't write female characters great, because I felt this way about a few of her books now, that the female character is just really got under my skin.
Yeah.
Xavier was great. I did really like him. Like he was just like pretty close to perfect, honestly.
Okay.
It was very insta love, which usually is a bit of a ick for me, but I did really like it in this book. They did have good chemistry like from the start, but I feel like sometimes she just puts her characters through a lot of shit that they don't need to go through. And almost like
Okay,
it's just
just for like,
excessive. Yeah.
yeah.
Like conflict after
Okay.
conflict after conflict. It was an okay read. It was entertaining. Like I said, I flew through it, but I wasn't satisfied at the end.
Just a letdown.
Yeah. It was kind of like messy and just not, I don't know. I don't know.
That's too bad.
Yeah. But again, like everybody loves it. So I don't take my thoughts on that to heart.
Yeah. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah. What was your next?
My next. My next was a letdown, which is kind of the start of my downfall.
I see where
Okay.
you're going with this. Yeah.
Dead Med by Frida McFadden.
You talked about this one on our mid-month, right?
Yeah. All I can think about is how pathetic it would be to die in the anatomy lab. The last thing that I want is to become one of the dead bodies. When Heather McKinley dreamed of becoming a doctor, she imagined curing sick kids and sporting pink stethoscopes. She never anticipated the sleepless nights, grueling exams, and endless labs. And she certainly never knew that her medical school earned the nickname Dead Med thanks to the tragic history of students overdosing on illegal drugs. But Heather would never consider doing anything like that. That is, until her longtime boyfriend dumps her, she finds herself failing anatomy, and her world starts to crumble. Everyone has a breaking point. Then, on the night before the final exam in anatomy, a shot rings out through the hallways of Dead Med. The school has claimed yet another casualty. One of Heather's classmates has done the unthinkable, and before her desperate 911 call even connects, it will happen again. And the night is just beginning. So this is the one that was originally published as Suicide Med. She republished it and apparently added or changed 20% of the material. I seen somebody rated it or left a review and was like, why would she write such a similar book to Suicide Med? Like, it has
Oh
even the same
no.
characters. Like, why would she do that? Oh my god.
Oh
Anyway,
no.
I rated this a 2.
Oof.
It just had awkward writing. I don't know if I was too hyper fixated or hyper aware. Sometimes I'm really aware that what I'm reading isn't real, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But every now and then, certain things that Heather girl would say, I'd be like it was just corny and cheesy, the way that she would talk to herself in her own head, her inner. I literally don't know how to describe it, but there were multiple times where I almost DNF'd it. I was like, this is just stupid. It was so corny.
Was it corny in The Crashed where she's talking to her her baby and her baby talks to her?
So it's kind of similar to that corniness, but not, I guess, not technically that bad. Because at least in Dead Med, she was just talking to herself.
Right.
I mean, in The Crash, she was also talking to herself, but she was more so talking to her baby. Yeah, so that was that started pretty early in. I almost DNF'd it. It took me a bit of time in between each reading session because I was like, it was just corny. I don't know how else to describe it. Then there were far too many point of views. I cannot keep track. I can keep track of 2.
Yeah.
I think that's my max. Any more than that, I'm like, who was this person again? Oh my god.
That's kind of how I'm feeling with the book club book currently. There's 3 POVs and it's a time jump between them as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Yeah. Nope. If you're gonna do multiple point of views, it's gotta be in the same timeline or I'm definitely gonna be lost.
Yeah.
Multiple point of views, didn't like that. Yes, I get the fact that it gives you so much more perspective and it gives you a better story. Sure. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
That's just me. If you have a really good attention span, then maybe you'll be fine reading this. That ain't me. That ain't me. And again, just with her repetitive thoughts, it's kind of oh, it's this person. Oh, it's this person. And then I don't know. I've been noticing lately that I can guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're reading too much of it, I think. I think her books are meant to be sprinkled.
Yeah.
You know?
I've kind of been
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But still okay. Other than the corny comments, the awkward writing from the Heather girl's point of view. Other than that, of course, Frida has really good writing. And I do very much enjoy her writing because it's so easy to read and it's so easy to picture things. But I think just the whole time I just couldn't get past that awkward writing. And then again, it hit me with the multiple point of views. So it's
yeah.
Anyway.
Doomed from the start, basically.
Yeah. Just left a bad taste in my mouth. So I do need a Frida break, I think. I'm sorry.
Well, that kind of brings me right into what I was going to say. Mm-hmm. Because I know I've recommended it a few times to you now. But I read The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you would really like Riley Sager. Because it's mystery thriller that has some plot twists.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels more mature and refined than what Frida's books are.
Okay.
Yes.
I will add him He's been in my TBR. I need to take him out.
Read The House Across the Lake.
Okay.
Read it. The description for this one is Casey Fletcher, a recently widowed actress trying to escape a streak of bad press, has retreated to the peace and quiet of her family's lake house in Vermont. Armed with a pair of binoculars and several bottles of liquor, she passes the time watching Tom and Catherine Royce, the glamorous couple who live in the house across the lake. They make for good viewing. A tech innovator, Tom is rich, and a former model, Catherine, is gorgeous. One day on the lake, Cassie saves Catherine from drowning, and the two strike up a budding friendship. But the more they get to know each other, and the longer Casey watches, it becomes clear that Catherine and Tom's marriage is not as perfect and placid as it appears. When Catherine suddenly vanishes, Casey becomes consumed with finding out what happened to her. In the process, she uncovers eerie, darker truths that turn the tale of voyeurism and suspicion into a story of guilt, obsession, and how looks can be very deceiving. I 5-starred this book. This got me. And I gotta say, like, I'm not a huge mystery thriller reader. So the fact that this book had me from page 1 and had me feeling all kinds of anxiety and just like, what is going on? What happened?
Okay.
There were so many, like, within the book, like, similarities to different things that you kept, like, trying to pick your brain, trying to figure out, like, what happened? Where is she? What's going on?
I love that.
And yeah, it was great. It had, like I said, a few, like, plot twists. It was just fantastic. I highly, highly recommend. More so than the first book that I read by him. The only one left. That one I rated 4 stars, but this one was, like, full on 5-star. If I could lower the only one left to 3 stars based on how good The House Across the Lake was.
Okay, maybe I will read that.
I think you should. I think you should give it a shot. I think.
Okay.
What else did you read?
I finished The Spanish Love Deception.
Ooh.
By Ilana Armas. So this was 487 pages. Contemporary romance. And I rated it a 4-star.
Nice.
Catalina Martin desperately needs a date to her sister's wedding, especially since her little white lie about her American boyfriend has spiraled out of control. Now everyone she knows, including her ex and his fiancé, will be there and eager to meet him. She only has 4 weeks to find someone willing to cross the Atlantic and aid in her deception. New York to Spain is no short flight, and her raucous family won't be easy to fool. Enter Aaron Blackford, her tall, handsome, condescending colleague who surprisingly offers to step in. She'd rather refuse. Never has there been a more aggravating, blood-boiling, and insufferable man. But Catalina is desperate, and as the wedding draws nearer, Aaron looks like her best option, and she begins to realize he might not be as terrible in the real world as he is in the office. I rated this a 4.
I don't know what I rated it.
You also rated it 4.
I liked that one, I got to say.
Loved their banter.
Yes.
Loved.
I haven't gone on to read the rest of that series yet, though.
We should.
Yeah.
I'd be down. The writing was so easy. This is my first book by her, and so easy. So, like, fake relationship, office romance, one bed, grumpy and sunshine, slow burn, tension.
I forgot about the one bed part of it. Yeah.
Loved it. I am officially off of my ban of romance books.
Okay.
Or not my ban. I shouldn't say my ban, but my extreme
distaste for
Yeah.
romance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm ready for more.
Then you should read this one.
All right, come on, I'm ready.
First Time Caller by B.K. Borson.
Borson. I love that cheese.
Uh,
It's like my favorite word. Borson.
I 5-starred this. I freaking devoured it. Like, it was so good. Contemporary romance, obviously, 448 pages, blah, blah, blah. A hopeless romantic meets a jaded radio host in this cozy, Sleepless in Seattle-inspired love story from beloved author B.K. Borson. Aiden Valentine has a secret. He's fallen out of love with love. Oh, sound familiar?
Hey.
And as the host of Baltimore's romance hotline, that's a bit of a problem. But when a young girl calls into the station asking for dating advice for her mom, the interview goes viral, thrusting Aiden and Heartstrings into the limelight. Lucy Stone thought she was doing just fine. She has a good job, an incredible family, and a smart, slightly devious kid. But when all of Baltimore is suddenly scrutinizing her love life, or lack thereof, she begins to question if she's as happy as she thought. Maybe a little more romance wouldn't be such a bad thing. Everyone wants Lucy to find her happy ending, even the handsome, temperamental man calling the shots. But when sparks start to fly behind the scenes, Lucy must make the final call between the radio-sponsored Happily Ever After or the man in the headphones next to her.
Oh.
Oh, I loved this so much. So, like, she... Obviously, I mean, you get that from the description. Her daughter calls into this dating relationship advice line, trying to get something figured out for her mom. And she ends up being a like regular on this radio show now because everybody is so interested in, you know, who she's going on dates with, or like, can they set her up with certain people? But in the meantime, she's falling for the radio host.
Okay.
Oh my God. It was just pure happiness.
I will add it to the TBR.
A man that keeps a list of your favorite things in your glove compartment just so that he doesn't forget. Like,
it is not hard to
no.
please women. Men think that it is. They're like, oh, women are so needy. Look what Chris just did. He brought home food for you and you didn't even ask.
Right? Oh, and it's upstairs waiting for me. But
like,
yeah,
it's not that hard.
It's not. It's not at all. So
Wow.
I really, really liked this book. They had great chemistry right from the start. It was hilarious because she walks in on her like 12-year-old kid on the phone, all hush hush at night, because this is a late night show that she's called into, and she hears a man on the other side of the phone. God. And like she goes into full maternal, you know, like, who the hell are you speaking to my 12-year-old kid? And he was just like, wait.
It's not what you think.
Oh, there's just so much good about this book, and yeah, highly recommend it. Okay. It was a fun romance.
I love that. I just added it to my TBR.
To the TBR.
My only other read was the featured read.
Ooh. I had one more other than the featured.
Okay.
Which doesn't really need much of an introduction, but I'll do it anyways. I reread The Hunger Games.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. And this is a YA dystopia, sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Winning means fame and fortune. Losing means certain death. The Hunger Games have begun. In the ruins of a place once known as North America lies the nation of Panem. Yes, exactly. A shining capital.
Volunteers tribute.
A shining capital surrounded by 12 outlying districts. The capital is harsh and cruel and keeps the districts in line by forcing them all to send one boy and one girl between the ages of 12 and 18 to participate in the annual Hunger Games, a fight to the death on live TV. 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen regards it as a death sentence when she steps forward to take her sister's place in the games. But Katniss has been really close to dead before, and survival for her is second nature. Without really meaning to, she becomes a contender, but if she is to win, she will have to start making choices that weigh survival against humanity and life against love.
Damn.
5 stars. 5 stars. Like, it is literally one of the best, like, YA fantasy sci-fi books. Like, I read it as a teenager, but reading it as an adult just hits different. Because when I read it as a teenager, like, you know, I was like the same age as Katniss. So it hits different reading it as a 30-plus-year-old and realizing Katniss was 16 going through all this. Oh,
damn.
Yeah. Just phenomenal. Phenomenal book.
Is it much similar to the movie?
Very similar. Like, they did a really great job bringing this book to screen. Obviously, some things had to be omitted, but you know, when she gets the pin, I think she gets it from like a vendor in the movie. It's been a long time since I've watched the movie, but I think that's how it goes in the movie. In the books, it was her friend.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And like, there's more talk of her in school in the books.
Oh, okay.
You don't get that side of it in the movie. So the books did a better job at making you realize who Katniss is as a person outside of the actual Hunger Games. Because the movies are just based more so on the action, whereas the books really fleshed out the characters more, which is a given. I mean, that's going to be like every book.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, damn.
Fantastic, though. Highly recommend anybody. I mean, if you haven't read it in the last, like, 20 years, oof.
Hey.
Read it. Then the other one was just the featured read, which was
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
5 stars, obviously.
Obviously. Ever since Harry Potter had come home for the summer, the Dursleys had been so mean and hideous that all Harry wanted was to get back to Hogwarts School for Witchcraft and Wizardry. But just as he's packing his bags, Harry receives a warning from a strange, impish creature who says that if Harry returns to Hogwarts, disaster will strike. And strike it does. For in Harry's second year at Hogwarts, fresh torments and horrors arise, including an outrageously stuck-up new professor and a spirit who haunts the girls' bathroom. But then the real trouble begins. Someone is turning Hogwarts students to stone. Could it be Draco Malfoy, a more poisonous rival than ever? Could it possibly be Hagrid, whose mysterious past is finally told? Or could it be the one everyone at Hogwarts most suspects? Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Oh boy.
Yeah. But we will do a deep dive of that in another episode that we will post in a couple of days. So keep an eye out for that, because we will compare all of the differences between the movie and the books and talk about our opinions and our feelings and our thoughts and
the new characters that were brought in.
Yeah.
Because we get Colin Creevy, we get Dobby, we get Moaning Myrtle. Yeah. Just to name a few.
And more of, like, Hagrid's.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, yes, it touches on the crap that he went through when he got kicked out of Hogwarts in the movie. But that's, like, very... Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and, like, I love how that explains. Anyway, we'll talk about this more in the other episode. But I just love how it explains more, like, why Hagrid just has that umbrella.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he's not allowed to do magic. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
we'll discuss that in a couple days.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I love talking about Harry Potter.
Same. I know. I might. I'll also squeeze in a couple stories of my experience at Harry Potter World.
Yes, that would be nice.
Because that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
So other than the books that we have read this month, what are you currently reading?
Yes, The Tenant by Free My Fen, but I think I might actually put that on hold because I need to take more of a break from her.
So The Tenant, I deadass DNF'd it. Main character guy was insufferable. I could not handle being inside his head any longer. So I just deadass DNF'd it.
DNF.
Yeah. Didn't.
Shit. Didn't. Yep. Okay, maybe I will hold off on touching that for a while until I forget that you said that. Next month.
But yeah, I think I am done with Frida's books. The last few that I've read have been super miss for me. So I am currently reading still Bloody, Slutty, and Pathetic.
Yep.
Don't laugh at me.
I'm not.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, like almost every time he talks to Hermione, he'll call her love. And I'm totally okay with that. Love that for them. But it's like he'll say something, like 3 times in a row, he'll say something to her and say love. So it's just,
yeah.
Like it's too much. Too much.
Yeah. I gotcha.
When it's 3 of his dialogue right in a row, like they are literally just talking to each other. It's just excessive.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm very aware now when he calls her love, and I'm just kind of like,
ugh. Yeah.
Right? So I kind of slowed down reading that a little. A little.
Probably a good idea.
But yeah. So we'll see. Also reading Queen of Shadows, which is technically the 4th book, Throne of Glass. We're reading it as the 5th.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
So confusing to say it like that, but
yep.
And also the Catching Fire, the 2nd Hunger Games book.
Nice.
That is my current reading, which is great. Yeah.
All right. Well, should we?
Yeah, that's all I've got for now.
That's all, folks.
Don't
forget to
carry on.
Carry on my wayward son. Okay. Oh my god. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow. And yeah.
And on Spotify, you can now leave comments on our episodes. So if you're listening and you want to leave a comment, like that would be totally cool.
Please. We'll comment back and maybe even make a comment on it on our next episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Toodles.